By now, the cat's out the bag, and y'all know that I'm not actually running for political office, but I do have a political comedy doc called In Amanda We Trust. It's available now. But while we're here, let's take a look at the making of on another episode of Amanda on the Move. In my mind, I'm 30, but my body is 42. I can't wear like this no more. I can't. I cannot. You're gonna lose me if I do.
That's a full wrap on day one.
All right, so tomorrow we're on day 2. This is when the fun begins because we have other people that we're dealing with, and that's always its own little fun little game. But it'll be a blast. I'm calling it. I didn't really intentionally set out to play a character version of myself, but it just kind of became that because y'all don't never see me in no suits. So that's the comedy. I so don't wear suits that it's enough of a change from me that it seems like a character. Then I threw on a afro. Come on, man. It's the whole look. I definitely had like a little bit of a self-consciousness about making sure that I'm not overacting, you know, because I realized like I haven't really done a lot of on-camera acting in a minute, like we did in Secure, and that's it. But if you have a director that you really, really trust, it really does ease that.
Right at 3.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Is that?
And then one more time.
You want to sleep?
Yes.
Anywhere. I'm refreshing because I just realized I look dead. You know, people will tell you that you don't need makeup. Everyone needs concealer. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Alicia Keys and you're on a no makeup movement. Everybody needs concealer on camera. Oof. Anxiety.
Being around Congress make you want to run for real.
It literally made me want to run for real. Like, it just doesn't feel like a good place. Like, it feels like a very stressful place. It feels like once we talk to Representative Omar and Representative Bowman, like, y'all come and put yourselves through this every day. And I get it. Like, Representative Bowman explained to me, like, listen, I'm a part of the 535 voices. Like, I am in that, and so it matters. And I'm like, you know what? It's not that it doesn't matter. It absolutely matters. It's more so just like, how do you stomach this? And I know your girl, Amanda Seales, it couldn't be me. Thank you all again for joining us. And we will continue to support you all because you're not assholes. Thank you.
Peace.
This is awesome.
Can I get a copy of that? So when people say independent, sometimes they mean like independent, which kind of means that they did it in partnership with like a bigger place that just gave them like indie money. So it's like a place that normally would do like big features, gave them like mini money. This ain't that. This is independent, like I did a job to pay for it. Okay? Like that's what we're talking about. Like I literally booked a gig and was like, okay, this will be able to pay for the special. You know, I got my staff. I even designed my poster. I even did half of the editing. I wrote, like, I mean, your girl was definitely doing everything except for janitorial services. And you know what? I actually did do janitorial services because after our writer's room, the sink in the bathroom just like exploded. It was like a glass sink that was here from the previous owners and it freaking exploded. Well, who you think had to sweep it up? Janitorial services of Smart Buddy and Black Productions. You recording?
Yeah.
Recording.
And that's a full wrap on An Amanda We Trust.
Thank you.
Full wrap.
Ooh,
you, Amanda, for having us. This
Thank
was
you.
phenomenal.
Thank you. I would say the hardest part of like being on camera as well as being the producer in like your writing mind is that you're in it. And it's always harder to see things once you're in it, right? It's like once you step out of it, you start to look at it and you're always like, oh, you know, it's like a breakup. Like when it first happens, you're just like, ugh, I don't know. And then as you get more distance, you're able to really look at it and say like, okay, yes, that needed to happen. Originally, it didn't start out as a comedy doc. Originally, I was gonna do a stand-up special with Jesse Collins, like, okay, part 2 to the joint I did on HBO, I Be Knowin'. And then it morphed into this because of extenuating circumstances. And we realized that we had such incredible footage that we gathered when we went out to DC. These were supposed to be 5-minute segments that were supposed to go in between stand-up. And it just didn't work out. And so it was like, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? We're still committed to doing this, right? So it's like me and Jeremiah Like the Bible in a kitchen having a thought about this, like, okay, can this be a whole thing? Then I call James, I'm like, can this be a whole thing? And then I like really talked my way through it. I'm like, this can be a whole thing. It was very intuitive, this process. The beauty of doing this independently was that I didn't have to ask permission to make these changes. And also because we're on strike, I'm able to do this because I haven't connected it to any of these big places that make big problems. When I started the process of doing this, it was about doing stand-up, but as we started developing this and we went to DC and we shot the footage, I just realized how much more impactful it was once we only could use the footage from the interstitials. And we started to see that the goal of this, of In Amanda We Trust, is to start trying to get people excited about civics by providing them with just more information. Right, so information from Ilhan Omar and Representative Jamal Bowman about like what is actually going on in Congress, right? Information on just the different roles of government, like whether it's an alderman or a senator, etc. And also just the ways in which we can interact with that government. And I don't think a lot of us are really thinking enough about that. And I'm not saying I'm gonna break through the chains with this, but what I wanted to do was at least use comedy to kind of just start y'all thinking about things. Why does it matter how someone looks when they're running office? Exactly, nonsense, right? Why does it matter? And also, Clarence Thomas do look like a fish, don't he?
Where do we go from here?
Well, from here, like specifically here, we go to inamandawetrust.com. That's where we go. Where do I go creatively, artistically from here? I go on tour. So you can go to inamandawetrust.com or go to amandaseals.com and see the tour dates. Get your tickets, come on out. And then there's also just like, oh, I guess I gotta do a special. So my plan is to hopefully get a special to you all by spring of next year. Thank you to everybody who's already watched In Amanda We Trust, and thank you to those who are about to go watch In Amanda We Trust. I think it's really just important to let y'all know that it's not light work to make something from scratch, and production has so many levels, because like even once you're finished shooting, like the fact that you still now gotta edit, you gotta put the sound mix on it, you gotta add music on it, you know, there's just all these different things that end up becoming just the project that you see as one whole piece. But when you're producing it, you gotta be on top of every single piece. And that is like stressful, exhausting, exhilarating, revitalizing. This is the first time I've ever made anything like this. And so for you guys to support it and show love to it, it really means so much to me. And it also says that this is the type of content you want. And I can't stress enough that like that's the only indicator. The only indicator that this is the type of content people want is for people to actually like buy that content, share that content, support that content, etc. So I ask that you don't share it if your friends ain't buy it, because you know, it wasn't cheap and I would love to make my money back.